return of the M.A.C, episode 82. What's happening, fellas?
What's popping?
M.A.C, Moss, Andrew, Carl, in order this time.
Let's go.
Yeah. That's what it looks like anyway.
We hope y'all enjoyed the video last week. We're continuing to tweak that a little bit. We'll have this perfected here in no time. But crazy week this week.
Yes, sir. A lot of shit went down.
Yeah, I mean, the ship went down.
Ships went down, yeah.
The ship has sunken.
That's right.
Yes, I mean, hey, look.
It's a great weekend.
It was awful. I'm still dull.
We're going to make you commiserate a little bit and just sit in your sadness. We're going to come back to football. Anything personally going on this week?
No. Same old.
I really got nothing. Yeah, nothing happened. It's all football time, so that's really all I did this week.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all. That's all I was concerned about was football. I don't even know what the fuck happened this week. All I was concerned about was football making it to Sunday night. It felt like it took forever to make it to Sunday night.
Right,
and then it felt even longer after that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was numb. Okay, I was numb.
If you're unaware, we got new listeners. Word is a Steelers fan.
I mean,
that's why he's feeling the way he's feeling right now.
I don't do no faking. You know what I'm saying? I wear my colors. You're going to see me out with it. You know
I appreciate you wearing that today. We really appreciate you wearing that today because I was going to kill you if you came in here after talking all that shit last week and didn't rep your Steelers gear today. So
Bro,
I'm proud of it.
I don't do no running, first of all. I don't know who y'all think I am in the chat talking about you panicking, you in panic mode. I don't do none of that.
You should have been panicking.
I mean, you wrapped yourself in the covers and cried yourself to sleep, I'm sure though.
Bro, I don't do none of that. Look at me. I'm a real deal G.
Here we go.
That's what it is. No.
This is you'll get fried day. You got to come in here and boast up on us.
No. You got to be quiet today. We get to go in.
No, bro. Y'all ain't got shit to say
That's
to me.
Facts, bro.
I'm doing all the speaking.
Yeah, shut up, man. Shut up.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to football. So early in the week, it went down, though. Plenty of excitement. It seems like this was so long ago after the long football weekend.
Yeah.
But what was it, Tuesday? Was it Tuesday that the Rednecks took over the Capitol?
Yeah, the Europeans went wild.
Wednesday,
one of them days.
something like that.
Trump brought the meth heads out. They was out there.
That was crazy.
It looked like football fans of some sort, like
West Virginia,
like after a game or something like
took an L.
Yeah, if you just took an L, like people had like face paint on and all types of shit, like
the bearskin, like full hat and everything.
That dude's still in jail. The dude with the horns and shit on.
Oh,
a bunch of them are going to be.
You see what his mom said? His mom came out and said that he needs organic food or he'll get physically sick.
Oh my god!
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Go on a hunger strike. I did not see that.
Yeah, I did see that shit.
That's wild.
What were so I legit did not see that coming. I'll be honest with you. So the main thing that I underestimated is I thought if the election went one way, that there was going to be riot. If it went if it went Trump's way, I thought we were going to see like crazy riots because the hate for Trump is so strong.
Nah,
but I thought if it went the other way, yeah, no way. I don't think so at all. You can say it's even if you want, but the Trump hate is in full effect.
No, I'm talking about the riots and shit. It happened the other way around.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is I didn't expect it to go that way. And then when nothing happened after the election, I was like, oh, I guess nothing is gonna happen. The random well,
they prolonged it.
What do you mean?
They did like 6 recounts. The electoral was like the final.
Right.
Yeah. So
I guess
that Biden had won.
I see what you're saying.
They kept prolonging the inevitable. He won every time they recounted.
Right. Yeah, I guess I was thinking the election was over after it happened.
Was over
I see what you're saying.
It was over
everybody else except for that. Yeah, for sure.
So they were there to protest and not allow them to do the final count to, I guess, officially make it that he won the election.
Right.
And I don't even know how it started. I just know all of a sudden I'm seeing on Twitter that the whole Capitol building is being overtaken.
No, I didn't know what people were talking about. Like I was scrolling on my feed and stuff. And I'm like, everybody's talking about this fucking Capitol. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I was getting hit up right. I was like, I'm watching the news, bro. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't even look into it or anything until like later in the day after like I guess most of the shit had gone down or people was already like inside. But of course, you know, doing a little bit of research, I haven't seen the tweet, but they said like Trump pretty much incited it, right?
I don't believe it was from a tweet. My understanding, yes, as far as him inciting it, or at least having a major role in it. I believe what like really pushed it forward is I believe he addressed the crowd at one point, was like giving a speech kind of thing, and said we're going to go down to the Capitol and I guess like basically make a scene or not allow the vote to happen.
Yeah. He said and be wild.
I'll be completely honest with you. I don't even know if I could say that. I feel like the speech was intended to be like, we're going to go protest outside of it. But at the same time, I feel like in the back of his mind, he knew if I get these people wild enough, I'll just let them do what they do, and whatever happens, happens. That's my opinion on it. Do you think at the speech his intent was for what happened to happen?
I mean, probably not exactly. Oh, actually, I do think that, because I think it was everything that happened, I think was intended to happen exactly that way, or not necessarily exactly that way. Of course, like, you know, somebody died. I don't think that was meant to happen, but I think that people were, or the security or whatever lack thereof, was informed to let those people in there. Because, I mean, it just didn't look like there was much resistance from it.
I think the numbers were a problem. I think they were underprepared, security-wise, for that to take place, but I don't really personally buy into them letting it happen. I just think they were completely outnumbered, and it was not something like, what are we going to do at this point?
He alluded to people doing something in response if it came down to him losing. He didn't outright say it, of course, but he alluded to it, and they reacted when the final thing came down that he lost. And this shit was just like a movie. Like, I feel like they allowed the people to come in. I don't think there was any fight. We seen the videos and shit that was coming out afterwards. They were just standing back and allowed them to walk in the stairs, walk in the building, and it was like a fucking field trip to them. They stayed inside the ropes as they was walking through there. It was like, what is y'all doing? And then, of course, as it went on, it started to get a little worse. And then they was like, all right, we got to come down on this.
Man, I saw some videos of security, like, inviting them.
Yeah.
And, like, come on.
They were standing on the wall. Like, go ahead.
Like, it was opening up an amusement park.
Yeah.
Come on in.
It was a field trip.
Right. It was just weird. That's all I'm like, I think, you know, all that was intended to happen. It was just a wild moment in U.S. history, but, you know.
It is a moment in history. Like, there's no other way to say it. It is a moment in history for the rest of time.
That image of the guy I don't know what the offices are or anything like that inside of that building, but the image of him with the flag and with the horns just inside of the building is the wildest image that you'll ever see. It needs to be in the history book.
There's like 3 or 4 images that stand out. That being one of them.
The guy sitting in the chair with his feet up on the fucking desk.
On Nancy Pelosi's desk. The dude carrying out the full podium looking thing.
Yeah.
And the old lady just standing there looking like she's high as a kite, no idea where she's at, holding a little flag.
Some things were just wild. Like, it was people, like, that's what I'm saying. I think it was like they were letting people in there. It was people with wheelchairs in there.
Yeah, I'm about to say
that. Like, how did they get in there?
Was that in there?
Fucking chicken. They was rolling the chicken nuggets in those floor.
I honestly don't know. I just go
the people that was rolling them in there ain't shit, bro, for bringing them handicapped people there. Like, y'all ain't shit for that. Why'd y'all do this?
If that's where they wanted to be. That's where they wanted to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, and then you think, you seen the video of the woman getting shot?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I
didn't watch it.
You think that would have ended everything, but it didn't, right? It's just
no.
I mean, once you get in a mob, I don't know. I guess gunshot, if anything would stop it, gunshots would be it.
That would tell me deuces. These motherfuckers not playing with our ass today.
Well, apparently they had just killed a cop.
I think that happened the opposite order.
Oh, no. They popped that lady through the door.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm saying they was reacting to them killing the cop. They like beat the shit out of a cop or something. He ended up dying from injuries or something like that.
I mean, I don't know if the order is correct or not, but I'm not going to act
who knows,
like
yeah.
Either way,
I know the details of what happened there.
So. Right.
People are getting fired.
Right.
People are getting arrested. So the weirdest thing of all of it to me is like no attempts to cover your face at all.
That's right.
They have clear pictures of so many people, and they're doing like FBI investigations. Help us locate this person.
These are federal crimes, right?
Yeah,
this is a federal crime, right?
Yeah.
No attempts to cover their face at all.
Not local police. The feds is going on.
And some of these people are like big people within their companies or communities.
Yeah.
Like,
your face matters. So, like,
right.
People know you.
Obviously, they didn't plan this situation. They just reacted and responded.
Yeah, the mob mentality is so dangerous. Once there's enough people saying to do something, and a couple of people start to do it, it's just like, who's gonna do something to me? There's 75 of us running.
Where's that? You about to lose your
but
job.
they still have a choice.
They need to play that
I'm
shit.
sure with some people that made the choice, like, I'm gonna just go to the crib.
Oh well, no. They all made a choice. No, I don't mean to say like, oh,
somebody was like, no, I ain't with all this. They talking crazy.
Y'all got it. I'm gonna go to the crib and watch on the news.
Yeah, no, I don't mean at all to say like poor people got caught up in the moment. No. Everybody there made a choice to be a part of that. But I'm saying once it gets out of control, it's really hard to get it back under control.
Yeah, right. Who's that person? You would literally need Donald Trump himself to like rile everybody, or
the only one person that could do it,
who can get them to move in unison. So, I mean, it's just like I said, a wild thing. I don't know if this will definitely or actually be in the history books, but it needs to be.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's gonna get worse in the inauguration.
I don't know if it needs to be. It might get amplified if they put it in the history book because the shit was kind of weak. When it all comes down to it, the riot was weak.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. It wasn't like.
But we don't see anything like that though. People storming the Capitol building.
Sure.
We don't see that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that I feel like it's got to be a part of history. But yeah.
They didn't burn it down.
They didn't like go there. Like y'all just made a scene. That's what y'all did.
Throw some papers on the floor.
That's why your comparison to like a wild group of football fans makes more sense because it seemed like they were just there having fun.
Yeah.
Like running through the offices, messing shit up, destroying everything. It was just ridiculous.
People want to be a part of something, even if it's like destructive. They just want to like feel
or have no real purpose.
Yeah,
there was no purpose.
What does any of this do?
Like, what did y'all get? What did y'all do? Nothing.
You see the people getting videotaped coming back here?
Like at the airports?
Oh, and getting off the bus and stuff too.
No.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. People were getting off the bus coming back from DC, and they were like being videotaped. I forgot
where.
Where were they at?
And where are you talking about? Like, where's the video?
I forgot. I think it was on WSET though.
Oh, you mean locally?
Locally, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I was. That's what I was
in Lynchburg. Yeah.
I played poker with one of them.
Oh, really?
I played poker with one of them Sunday night, and she multiple times was like, "Yeah, I just got back from DC," and would like try to tell the story, and just nobody paid attention.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody, especially at poker. Poker is a no politics zone. We're here to play cards and gamble.
That's a distraction right now.
Yeah, and the football game's wrong. Like those are the only topics. It was not. We're not trying to get in a politics debate.
Right.
No. But yes,
I at least know out here, lady. I'll turn your ass in. I'll tell you that.
Well, she of course was doing like, it was a peaceful atmosphere, and I didn't go into the Capitol part. Like I didn't want to do anything illegal, but she was apparently a big Trump supporter, obviously, to have even gone to attend.
She was the one that was like, "Y'all go ahead."
Yeah. I think so, or at least that was what she portrayed to us. But yeah, what a wild event! What a wild event!
It's just craziness. So the aftermath.
Yeah, well, what do you think? So, what do you think what would you say is like the main cause or causes that have led up to this? Because obviously there's not one single thing that made this happen. But if you were trying to get to a root cause of it, what do you think? I obviously have.
They're a bunch of sore fucking losers. That's the reason. Just
a solid opinion there.
Yeah, I think that's all. That's the only real cause is just being butthurt that you lost. Because I mean, everything else I don't think is like directly, or you can't directly associate it to that, like the riots before or anything like that. That doesn't really have anything to do with now. Right. It's simply because the guy that you were rooting for lost, and Really, I mean, because he told you to do exactly what you did. I mean, he told you to go out there and be wild, is what I saw anyway, I heard. So that's the only cause that I can come up with. Otherwise, it's just.
I agree. I mean, clearly it is a sore loser. Just we're going to fight back and do whatever we think we can to I don't know what the point is, because it's not. Did they ever think they were gonna win the election
like,
back?
All right, y'all got it. He won. He can stay.
Right. Everybody's like, okay, cool. We can go home now, Bob. We're good.
Like, nah,
the show's gonna work.
Yeah, so I was thinking like even I guess deeper or further back. To me, the big issue that I have like with what is going on now and the aftermath discussions and so forth, and what I feel has led up to this is the extremes have been, the tribalism amongst people right now is so strong that the extremes that more people are being pushed to the extreme. I'm not saying that like that absolves them or like this person made me extreme. Nah, if you're an extreme psycho, you are wrong and like you need to be dealt with. But for the last 4 years plus, anybody that is more liberal Democrat compared to anybody that's more conservative Republican are so pitted against each other at all times. Every news story is, look at this crazy Trump supporter. Look at this, whatever the other name you want to call the other side is.
But not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But I mean, that's how America is designed to begin with. Is for these people to be pitted against each other. The thing that makes it really different is the fact that Trump is on one side and is like, I don't know, he's different from any presidential candidate that either side has had. It's
right. I agree.
That kind of like attitude or action is provoked by him. Is really, that's where it starts. He creates more where it's already divisive. He creates more divisiveness. So I just think that it starts with Trump, because it's been something that America's done this, for I don't even know how long the two-party system has been a thing, but longer than I've been alive, of course. So we've done this for years already. It gets to this point now because of Donald Trump.
Are you saying that? Do you think he like? I don't think he created it. I think he just amplified what was already there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's the gasoline to it. It's
right.
Whatever you were feeling before, he gives you that power, that backbone, and then or the same thing on the opposite side. Wherever you were feeling about the opposite side before, now that's going to be amplified. You hate them 100 times more because they're more boastful.
Yeah.
So I think I think we're on the same page. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is I think obviously you've always got people that think a little bit differently. There's two sides of the argument.
Right.
That's not a big deal. I think that works just fine in most cases. And you'll find that a lot of people do agree with some on both sides. But when Trump came, Trump is the ultimate, like, fuck you to the establishment. So he comes in loud and aggressive. And I have no interest in deciding who started or pushed it further. But once he goes loud and aggressive, the other side has gone loud and aggressive back towards him, which is what I was mentioning earlier when I said the Trump hate is so strong. With him being in power for 4 years and being belligerent and being like constantly just fuck you, I'm doing whatever I want, I feel like the opposite side, the Democrat side, has pushed back even harder than they ever would, because it's like, if he's going to go extra hard, we got to go extra hard.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I mean is at this point, both sides are not even trying to be reasonable. Forget like the top elite Trump and Biden. I mean like regular people. People are no longer trying to be reasonable or understand any difference from the other person. It's like, do you like Trump or do you not like Trump? Well, that's not enough. You got to hate Trump or I hate you.
Yeah, it's to the point.
Or in the opposite way.
Right. You can't even agree to disagree anymore. It's literally, if you don't agree with me, you got to pick a side. We're at war if you don't agree. Exactly. It's no longer agree to disagree. So, yeah.
Exactly. So I think you would mention the aftermath. I think the aftermath of this is, it's like everybody that it was not on Trump's side is like, see, this is what we told you was going to happen. And they're right. I mean, they have been saying that. In my opinion, I just feel like they hold a portion of responsibility, because by participating in the back and forth and the side picking, they've continued to amplify it. Both sides have. And this is where it's this is where it's going to in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, is this the end? No.
No,
It's the end of Trump.
So,
So you think this is a cult though that we're talking about?
I mean,
really? Literally,
they still be people that still fuck with Trump, yeah.
bro. It doesn't matter.
They got him up out of there, right?
It doesn't matter if he's the president at this point, though, right?
well, it does if he's no longer allowed in the world, which is what is taking place right now. He is banned from every place that has a website right now.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I feel like this is orchestrated, because it was like a unanimous, everybody just cut him off. Like he was deaded to everybody. Once I saw Pence turn sides, I was like, oh yeah, ain't nobody fucking with him no more.
But yeah, he did that to himself as well.
Right, of course.
Once it got to a point where he was so obnoxious,
He jumped off the ledge.
Yeah. Even the people that were with him were like, "You're being wild."
Well, he told Pence that he had to stop.
Stop the election,
Whatever.
or the counting of the election.
Right, whatever it was that he was supposed to be doing at the Capitol that day is like giving the presidency over to Joe Biden or whatever the fuck it was. He was supposed to be doing something, and Donald Trump's instructions were to for him to stop it. Like, what do you mean? I can't just come out here and say, wait, this ain't a fucking wedding where you get that moment in the wedding to say, hold on, I have something to say. No.
Once I'm winning, just cut it off.
Right.
Just cut that shit off.
Bro. That's not how it works. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a wild scenario right now in the world.
For sure.
And your boy gets that big ban across the board too.
Banned everywhere.
Even off Pinterest. It's my banned off Pinterest.
He banned him on Twitch. I was like, I didn't even know he had a fucking Twitch.
He probably don't.
Yeah, I think it's just you can't now.
Yeah,
Right, you can't. Even if you thought you was, you can't.
But he can't find no tasty recipes. Like that's
That's what I'm
messed
saying.
up, bro. That's messed up. How do you don't know what to make for Super Bowl
That shit is
parties?
dead.
That's crazy. Yeah. So, but I mean, I told you I did want to get into all the banning and stuff. Did you want to? Is there anything else from the actual Capitol event that y'all wanted to talk about?
Oh, when they I thought it was funny when people was trying to find out the girl's name that got shot just so they could say we smoking on Ashley Loke tonight.
Oh God, I did not know that.
I thought that was wild.
People turned it to a pack.
Yeah.
People
I
turned it
did
to a
not
pack.
see that.
The Make America Great Again pack. It's
Wow.
fucked up, man. People are ruthless.
Wild.
my god.
Yeah,
That
they're
is
ruthless. Yeah.
Well,
It
and
used to be a T-shirt. It's a pack in 2020. You can't.
a T-shirt.
Put
Like
Ashley
you used to
Loke-
get your face put on
Yeah.
a
put
T-shirt.
Ashley Loke's name on the t-shirt.
Spray paint looking T-shirt. Yeah.
Now it's a pack.
Oh, that's what I got. Yeah.
What do you think about him being banned from everywhere? As far as on a more serious note, like, do you think that's a good idea? I guess is what I'm getting at.
I think it's unconstitutional, but it's exactly what they need to do.
How is it
Explain that
unconstitutional?
further.
I mean, freedom of speech is just that. But when you're inciting riots, you're taking stuff to a different level. So we're breaking down the lines or thinning the lines really of what's constitutional and unconstitutional. But I mean, technically, you're censoring his rights for freedom of speech. But again, when your freedom of speech is like hate speech or used to incite riots, then of course he has to be muted some way, somehow. And then it's not like to say he can't launch his own Donald Trump website and say whatever the fuck he wants to. They're taking him off of their platforms where they don't want to be associated with it. And as a company, that's what you have to do.
You want to speak to that? Because I know we listened to the same thing today where they talked about
they
this
had
and
a
gave a
couple
lot of
points
good
I was gonna
information.
use.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, points I was going to use, but I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I can see why people would have a problem with it, but at the same time, I don't think it's fucking up. Like it's taking away his freedom of speech necessarily, because it's not like he can't talk anywhere. Like he's the president. You can host a press conference and say whatever you want. You can do a rally and talk to the people if you want to talk to them. You don't have to only be able to talk to people on Twitter.
Right.
This is the only president in history that we've talking about. He can't talk on Twitter. You shouldn't be on Twitter talking to people anyway.
That's how he communicates.
That's the whole point. You shouldn't be tweeting, president. Like.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a presidential Twitter account for a while now, but he obviously used it way differently than what I'm sure Obama was the first
on Twitter, boy.
I don't
bands on your head on Twitter.
I don't think it was I don't think it's a restriction of his freedom of speech because that's like more of a law situation. Like if there was a law that made it to where he couldn't be able to speak or something. If Twitter just does it, like ultimately that's pretty much up to the company.
Right.
But I think it just sets a bad precedent in general because we agreed that he is the main culprit for inciting what happened. But he didn't tweet something that said, go do this. Like, his tweets, I don't think really violated anything. I think Twitter used the main situation to say, oh, now we'll have enough people that will agree that it's okay to get rid of him because of this situation that happened at the Capitol.
Well, he's been nice with social media for a while now, though, right?
Yeah, but this because they're full of shit. Twitter and Facebook both annoy the shit out of me because they so clearly are doing whatever they need to protect their bottom line, their dollar, and they hide it as being some patriotic bullshit.
Any type of morality type thing where they thought it was the best thing to do. Like, I don't think they did it for that reason.
Yeah, because I mean, like somebody like Farrakhan really didn't say anything wrong, and he's silenced from all social media platforms. It's just anybody who I guess has like
rubs enough people the wrong way.
Right.
And that's the thing is today it's Trump. I'm telling you, people don't believe it, and they'll say that you're crazy for saying it. But in a year or two, there's going to be another situation where somebody else gets banned, and it's not as easy to see why. Like it may be something that you don't think is that crazy. Farrakhan is a good example of, I understand that he has said things that are controversial towards gays and Jews in the past, but controversial is different than like, he didn't say
telling people to attack anyone you see.
Exactly.
I don't have a problem.
These are just opinions about how he lives, him and the people around him live their life.
Right.
Exactly. So I think it's a really bad precedent that got set. And I think if there weren't so many people that hated Trump right now, it wouldn't be as widely cheered for. And I think the people that are cheering for it and are excited about it at some point are going to be disappointed, and they won't have a leg to stand on because they were celebrated this one. But I did a little bit more research because I know what I think about it, but I didn't really know, like I didn't really have a good backing for it or a way to explain it.
Yeah.
And have y'all heard anything about the difference between being considered a platform compared to a publisher? You know anything about that?
No, I don't know.
No.
The difference.
So the real difference is a platform is like, I think YouTube qualifies. Well, they may be a bad example because they take a lot of stuff down too. The example that was given was like a cell service, Sprint or something like that as a platform. So they're not monitoring texts and stuff that go out. They're not monitoring phone calls where they're responsible for it. They're saying this is a platform. We let you use it how you use it.
Right.
A publisher could be compared to like a newspaper, where they publish editorials and they do fact checking on stories that go in. And if they posted a story that was false and like defamation or something against somebody's character, they could be sued.
Lawsuit, right?
So Twitter and Facebook and these places are they want to do both. They want to be a publisher so that they don't have the liability to have to answer for every tweet, but they also want to censor and pick and choose what they allow to be said.
Right.
And I think that is like a legal ground where they should just have to decide which category they're going to fall under. And I think if that's the case, they very quickly are going to say we're a platform. We don't want no liability in anything that y'all crazy people are saying.
That's the rocky ground you step in when you start banning people. Like, all right,
exactly.
So what reasons are you going to ban the next person or whatever? I understand.
But I mean, do you have to have reasoning if you're
necessarily
Facebook?
You don't. It's their platform. They can ban whoever they want. We see people get blocked from their pages all the time and lose their accounts.
Well, there's supposed to be guidelines in place that you like you can't share child porn.
Right.
Like there are guidelines in place. There's very specific guidelines that you can't violate a hate speech.
But sometimes, like I had my old Facebook page, my old music page, my shit got taken away from me, and I got no reason for it. I was so pissed about that shit. Like, and
you should be.
And it was just no reason. It's just like, hey,
but can't they? Regardless of what the guidelines were when you signed up, they can update those guidelines for sure. They feel like it.
And they do it all the time. People just don't look at them.
Right, nobody looks at that shit.
But
they update them shits all
from
the
that
time.
point forward, they could then rule differently. or decide that this is no longer allowed.
Right.
But they don't do that, at least very broadly, because they don't want to lose a bunch of people.
Right. It's just
trying to target specific people. Right.
Cut them off.
Boosie's a good example of somebody that, like, they have a clear graphic sexual content that you can't violate.
Well, I mean, even his was just like,
as
people
nudity,
post graphic shit all the time.
Not nudity. He went straight nudity.
People post shit all the time.
It's not allowed to stay up on Instagram.
Of course, but
and thousands upon thousands of people aren't watching what they post necessarily.
Understood.
Like
but now it's like they're not allowing him to even. Now it's like they're not even allowing him to have a page.
Well, he violated like 7 times.
I mean,
and openly said, "I don't give a fuck what they say. I'm gonna do it."
I mean, hey. Hey, I ain't defending Boosie.
Yeah, you don't like that Boosie.
He was wilding, but it was like I've seen people post wild shit and not had their page taken and be banned from the account altogether.
They got 130 followers though.
True.
But I feel you. I think that's going to be a real problem though, moving forward. And I think the last point on this, we don't got to keep going too long on the politics stuff.
Yeah.
But I think also banning does the opposite of what they're trying to do. I think the thought process is if we get Trump off of Twitter, everything is safe again. He's not able to do what he does. But what it does is it makes people that are the crazy Trump supporters, the extremists that are going to storm the Capitol, they go find somewhere else to go. And then you look at
find him wherever else he goes.
Well, I don't mean Trump specifically. I'm talking about like the crazy Trump supporters. If you get them off from Twitter and say they're not adhering to our guidelines, they're going to a different app somewhere. And in that place, you're then talking about a concentrated group of crazy people that all believe the same thing.
Right.
And that's where you get like really
just feeding into each other.
Yes, that's where it gets really wild, and that's
explosive.
why I just read something today. EJ had shared about some like crazy website that is not monitored at all, that has apparently gone from like 8,000 members to 15,000 members after this took place. And there's a bunch of stuff on there, people saying like planning to do something crazy at the inauguration. It's gonna get wild.
I'm sure we'll see something wild. Hopefully they'll be ready for that.
Hopefully so, man.
You know, my first questions when everything was going down at the Capitol was, where are the police? And of course they ended up showing up later. And some people got beat the fuck up. It was great to see.
I heard like one song, everybody was cool.
Carl said that. I do not condone that shit.
I heard everybody was cool during the daylight. As soon as the sun started going down, motherfuckers started scattering.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm holding down.
It's only great to see, and I only say that because these are, the same people who were saying, if you're following the law, the police don't, blah blah blah. Don't do that, and these things won't happen to you. Well, it's the same person getting socked in the face,
and in the airport's crying. They call me a terrorist. They won't let me fly. Right. Shut the fuck up.
That is wild that they got stuck at the airport. I saw a bunch of those videos.
I didn't see any of those.
Got stopped with no fly zone.
How do they know?
The FBI pictures and photos. And
they got everybody's names.
You gotta
the feds we're talking about.
You gotta shit yourself.
This is the
they got a picture of you. The feds got a picture
no fly zone.
No
and
fly.
They can't go nowhere.
And they calling you a terrorist, bro.
Yes.
That's like, I'd rather have cocaine on me in the airport.
Of course.
To be a terrorist, of course.
People came back from that.
Right.
You don't come back from being a terrorist.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, honestly, for me, the worst part has been just watching regular people. Watching people that I know argue about the shit. Not like arguing about whether it's right or wrong, but just the tribalism shit that I was talking about earlier. The people that are like excited that it happened and they're like taunting the conservative or Republican people that I know that are not crazy Trump supporters. And it's like, we're just continuing to fight more and more. Yeah. And it's just going to get worse. Like, somebody has to be a bigger person at some point.
Yeah.
And my mom and my parents, my whole family, we're all more conservative. I don't think that's a secret. But my mom hit me up and was like, I just watched Biden's speech. I think it was the day after everything had taken place. And she was like, it was just so nice to hear what he had to say. I think he did a good job with his speech. And it was just nice to hear like a calm, normal person as a leader of our country again. And I was like, I really appreciated that because, like I said, I mean, they're not like super duper political, especially my mom. But I just like people that are able to stop seeing the Democrat Republican shit and just be like, let's get back to being a normal country again.
Right.
That's my whole thing with it, man. It's just like I can never. Politics is like wrestling to me. It's just like it's not real. It's I can never buy into it. It's
Yeah, they puppets.
because we're I mean, just overall, like the fans or the
fans is a good way to put it.
right. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
It is fan base.
My team.
Yeah, it's your team. It's just overall, it's just like wrestling to me, and it's nobody really wants to go for the best candidate because I really wouldn't give a fuck if it's red or blue. You know, I don't care. When I listen to a motherfucker speak, I'm like, is it good sense? Does this shit?
Right.
Do I support what he's talking about? Has zero to do with Republican or Democrat. It's just about who would be the best candidate, who's really making.
On the plus side, if you into stocks and Bitcoin, Trump had shits going through the fucking roof this week. Through the roof.
I think Bitcoin came back down.
Bitcoin was at $20,000 a Bitcoin a month ago. It shot up to $40,000 in a month.
Yeah.
I think it's back down to like 30.
It dropped back down.
Yeah, 30 something
They say it's
right
going
now.
back up. Buy your Bitcoin.
Yeah, there's if you're into investing stuff, right now is probably a good time to do it. And I am starting to hear that it is more and more legitimate possibility that Biden, like on his first couple of days, tries to get that $10,000 forgiveness student loan debt.
Oh, that's lovely.
And your boy is hype.
That'll be it, right?
lovely.
I'm at 11
and
right
the
now.
$2,000 stimulus.
Shit, you good.
I'm at 11 right now,
That'll
but
do it.
I could pay the difference.
Yeah, right.
I can pay that tomorrow.
That's not an issue at this point.
I would be
Hopefully they
hyped.
pass that stimulus too.
Yeah, I'll take that money,
check.
too.
I take another one.
So
I'll take that.
what if you don't? What if you wait or that shit don't happen until you're done paying off your student loans? How does that work then? Can you
Get a refund?
Negative.
Probably not.
I honestly would not care. I think most people would, and I understand why you'd be upset. To me,
Well, I stopped paying my shit today.
I mean, I'm not. Right now, there's zero interest, so I haven't been making any payments for a while. I've been saving up money in my own account and just ready to drop a bomb on it whenever I have to. But now that this is in effect, even if it's not right away, I'll play the minimum for 2 months. We'll give it a little bit of time.
Yeah,
but
wait it out.
But for real, I just want it done. I honestly don't care if I paid it off. And 6 months later, he says 50,000 is forgiven, and I just wasted a whole bunch of money. I don't care. My debt is at zero. I don't give a fuck what anybody else got.
I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, it is what it is. That money.
My money is my money.
I've been a bit salty about it though.
I
I've been a little
understand.
salty about that shit.
Understandable.
I would.
I would just try to stay positive.
Yeah, I mean,
It ain't worth being mad
You
about.
have to, because there's nothing you can do.
Nope.
It just is what it is.
I'll be debt free. What do I care?
Yeah, I got you.
But enough politics. We had to go long on politics. That was the craziest event
Had to talk about it.
that has
Wow,
happened
man.
forever. But let's touch on these music things that y'all had. I didn't have anything too major, but y'all threw out a few things.
Some music.
Music related stuff. You mentioned Dirk. Tell us about what was going on with
Dirk
Dirk.
supposedly said, he posted saying that he is no longer dropping dead people's names in his music after his deluxe album drops.
So he got some.
I didn't know it was after.
After the deluxe, he definitely
Oh
dropping
my God.
dead people's names.
Come
He done with
on,
it.
bro. I feel like that would have been a good thing to just do just because. Like
Right.
that seems like a moral we could agree on.
Right. But I guess supposedly they just passed a law or some type of situation where they could use your rap lyrics in court now.
I
against
heard
you.
about this.
I thought they already could, but supposedly it wasn't. You couldn't use it as evidence.
There's
But now
probably
you can.
you could probably use like circumstantial evidence where
circumstantial.
these are kind of things you can see he's saying, but I
if
believe
you
now it's
saying
like
shit
real.
illegal that you did in your songs. It can be held in court. So maybe that has something to do with it.
in my
I swear they already could do shit like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
it just made it more
supposedly
official.
It could be hard evidence of
Oh,
rap
right,
lyrics.
right,
But now they can use it at hard, especially if you say something direct.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm sure
Yeah,
if you just
yeah.
specific name.
Yeah, if you say something direct, then they can use that shit in court.
Well, that's partially what got Melly tied up. They at least used it as part of the investigation where he talked about killing dude. Why
Yeah,
NW?
it's circumstantial though. They didn't use it as hard evidence.
Right.
But yeah, they did use it in that. I thought it was convenient, but with that being said, there's no need to stop it now. You still got a whole catalog on fucking streaming sites that they can go back to.
That's true.
But maybe you can't do stuff pre-date of that maybe. So
What do you
never
think
know.
about doing that in general?
What?
Like, what is just your opinion on that?
On dropping dead people's names and songs? I mean, I think that's the reason why rappers is dying now, because it's constant. Every song is a diss track. You talking about the homie that your gang or hood killed and da 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 in the song, and that's why people getting shot at.
Especially, I mean, I enjoy it.
Of course, it's entertaining.
I do enjoy that element.
That's why y'all dying.
But yeah, that's a fact. Especially when you're so like separated from it at this point. Like Dirk is the furthest away from. I mean, he probably go to the hood or stuff like that.
Yeah.
He brings Drake to the hood.
Yeah,
surround Drake around Drake.
We get that. But I mean, you're so far away from it. Like you probably don't even really know this person. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a body that the people you know call, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like this shouldn't be one of your ops anymore. You know what I'm saying? Your ops should be your peers, and your peers will be like Meek Mills and Big Sean's and there's stuff like that at this point. Like
elevate yourself, brothers.
It shouldn't be these guys that are on the block. You know what I'm saying? Anymore. So for that reason, you should not drop people.
You can still make hard music without calling out the people that got killed.
If you coming up,
I was gonna say, like, even if I don't even, I'm not a gangster, but I don't mind diss tracks. But like, once they're dead, I'm just like, they're dead. Why are we dissing the dead dude and his homies? That's too much for me. Never been a fan.
King Von, he always talk about smoking on Tuka. Like Tuka was a real kid that got shot 8 years
14.
ago.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
Tuka. He's always talking about smoking on Tuka every song.
That's too much for me.
It's people that's heard about that shit still. You say it in every song.
But at the same time, though, the reason why I like it, because disrespect is an element of rap. It really is, and it's always been that. It's in the rap battles. It's either you can be the most witty, the most disrespectful, or the most funny to win a rap battle. Like you can use either one of those, So I mean that shit works. It gets people riled up. People love that shit. So I mean, I think if you're coming up, then do it. I have no problem.
After a while,
if you still coming up, and you're talking about your environment and what's going on, go ahead and do that. But once you separated yourself from that, then you probably shouldn't rap about it anymore. Just leave it behind you.
Leave it alone, fellas.
That's whack, Carl.
On dead homies.
It's just an element of rap. You don't think disrespect is an element of rap?
I do. I think there's levels of disrespect. And there's just that. I think that's a level that shouldn't. I don't think that one should.
But there is no level of disrespect, like in a rap battle or something. People are gonna say the most.
It's not really like a rap battle. That's what it's different to me. It's not like they battle rapping on songs. They're just dissing motherfuckers every song, like for no reason.
But
that's like compared to like boxing. Like boxing isn't accepted. We're going to beat the shit out of each other. Right. In the rap battle, we're going to go hard as hell. We're going to say anything we want. Anything goes. But outside of that, I feel like there's a certain level.
It's not rap beef. It's real beef. Bloodshed has happened. It's not rap beef no more.
These people are killing each other. You don't think they're gonna talk about it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
we don't want to get locked up.
If we don't want lesser of the evils right here is just for me to talk about it.
Because that's what leads to it. That's what leads to
more murders. That's what amplifies the beef.
I don't want to keep doing podcasts where we have to pretend like RIP and it's so sad that this happened. If people are going to voluntarily escalate into murder situations.
Right.
I don't have sympathy for it at that point.
I mean,
not as much.
I get. I'm not saying that I do, but I'm just saying like it's an element of rap, and it's still them talking about their environment. It's not something that I'm saying like, hey, it should completely go away. A guy should stop doing it, because they're not gonna stop doing it because it's the life that they're living. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is what they're gonna be rapping about. But I think when you're somebody like Lil Durk or people who've elevated from this point, that's not the life you're living no more. So you should be talking about it anyway.
On top of that, once you leave talking about the street talking and raps, their music has elevated. Like G Herbo, Lil Durk, these guys' music has gotten better since they stopped talking about that shit in their songs like that.
I mean, yeah, but like I said,
it's kind of a crutch, like musically.
Yeah,
creative wise, it's kind of just a crutch to be like name grab kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's for shock.
Of course, people love controversy. People gonna draw to it, but after a while, After you've been in the game for a while, these guys have been in the game for about 7, 8 years now, almost a decade. It's time to switch it up a little bit. Switch
You
up the
don't need
content.
the clout after that person's name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't need that.
So
Yeah.
it's not necessary. But look, if you try to build a fan base, go ahead and drop a couple. If that's what y'all have done, it is what it is.
It might come back to haunt you. Is all I'm saying.
It probably most likely will, or it could pay off too. So
Yeah, you know, you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah,
This is true. This is true.
That's it, man. Accept your fate.
I got a random one I just saw last night. I was gonna hit you, and I was like, I'll just wait till the podcast. Y'all know anything about Barstool? I mean, we talked about Barstool Sports.
Something new happened?
Have you heard anything about the Barstool Fund that they put together? The CEO put
I seen
together.
you post about that, but I don't know nothing about it.
No. What the fuck is that?
They're based out of New York City, and after they put on their most recent restrictions on like the local businesses, restaurants and stuff, he was just complaining about how the politicians are shutting down people that put in like their whole life's work to building these businesses and stuff. And some guy on Twitter, like another rich person, like challenging him, was like, "Put your money where your mouth is." And he's like, "All right, 500,000 I'll put up right now. We'll start this fund and just start collecting donations." As it's blown up, like they had Aaron Rodgers just donated a bunch a couple of days ago, and a bunch of famous people have got into it. They've raised like over 22.
So what is it for again? I think I missed what you said.
Small businesses.
Oh, okay.
They're donating it to small businesses,
That's dope.
but not like just a one-time donation. He set up qualifications where you still have to be paying all of your employees, and they're gonna like support you for a certain amount of months to make sure it's not just like a quick hit and then you fall apart again.
Got you.
So, but they've got 22 million in like less than a month right now.
That's a lot of money.
And last night he tweeted out, or Kodak tweeted at him, and he was like, "Yo, put me down for 50,000 on the Barstool Fund. Make sure you help my people," or something like that. And of course, the CEO guy like retweeted it. He's like, "Yeah, El President and Kodak 2024."
I think I've seen that. I seen that.
That's one thing I do give Kodak props for. He does donate a lot to shit, even while being locked up. He's been donating a lot. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, but I think he always did that. It's just that people don't. The perception of Kodak is bad, of course. Perceived as a pretty bad person.
That was all I had.
That's dope, though. That's dope.
That's fine.
Man, breaking news. I gotta talk about this YFN Lucci shit.
Oh, what you
That's
got?
just wild.
What happened? I ain't heard about it.
My man is wanted right now for murder. They say he's wanted for multiple charges, including felony murder, aggravated assault, participation in criminal street gang activity, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. So,
it's a whole gang of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn, Richie.
right.
You out here thugging.
Yeah, for real. He in the streets for real.
You said in Atlanta?
Does that make you like him now that he living in his raps?
Yeah, you gotta
Does that make you like him? Like you want to listen to his music now?
I might check out a song after this.
He might be on the run with your boy from Gucci's boy.
Damn.
Oh, Fugiano?
Oh
no, they might
teamed up.
That's wild.
That's,
I need to get some more information about that. That's tough. Damn, Lucci.
It's a tough spot to be in right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
YFN Lucci on the run. Somebody can recognize you, son.
You gotta tighten up.
I wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Gotta
He's
tighten
the
up.
biggest star, but still. You can't be in Atlanta with that shit.
Oh, that fucking it was getting a little chilly in here. That
Freeze a little
damn that Dr. Dre shit. He had that brain aneurysm last week.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, when I first saw that, like I thought he was like about to die, like any minute.
It's a pretty serious thing.
Right. Yeah, and I don't mean to say like it's not, but I thought it was like, yo, this is about to happen thing. And then it was like 3 hours later, they were like, he's up, he's lucid. Obviously, it was like in an intensive care and stuff. But yeah, that's wild. Brain aneurysm sounds nuts. I don't even know what that means.
Did you hear about the people
like
that tried to rob his house after seeing him he was in the ICU?
I did.
People ain't shit.
How?
That's what people really do, though.
It is what they do, but people ain't shit, bro.
They do stay.
They see, he in the hospital.
Homes.
This is an opportunity. Like, ain't nobody gonna be in his crib. like what?
Real grimy.
Or even like, how do you know this is the house he's staying at? Like,
I'm sure everybody. That's
I'm
what
just
he's
saying,
sitting on it, right?
Well, I'm just saying this. You probably could. You had multiple opportunities probably to break into this house throughout the year. He's not staying here year round. You know what I'm saying? How you know somebody else is not staying
I guess that was
here?
like
This is just one of his homes.
It's just confirmed. Like, oh yeah, he's not going to be here now because he's in the hospital.
But like I said, he might never be there, and it might just be somebody else that lives there all the time.
Exactly.
You don't know these things.
People are whack. That's whack as shit.
Yeah.
But you said he's still in the hospital?
I think I seen that a couple of days ago. He's still there. I don't think he went home yet.
How do you
but he
get
said he's
an
doing better.
aneurysm?
Not my specialty.
Is it just your brain like overworking or some shit?
That sounds like a good explanation. We'll go with that. MD Carl.
Yeah, I don't fucking
Carl
know.
MD.
I'm gonna blame it on his wife though, or ex-wife. I'm gonna blame that.
Down with that. I saw something else about him agreeing to like temporarily provide a large amount of money to her, and then I saw something else about like she was coming out with more stories about him today.
Yeah. See,
Like Jesus, this lady will not stop.
Yeah, she going like.
I have seen a lot of people saying that shit though, calling it like karma and shit from when he used to beat women.
Oh damn!
It's like
Beat woman.
Yeah, you never heard about that?
Dr. Dre?
He used to beat his
D
baby mama.
Barnes.
Yeah. Did you see that?
He had like confirmed incidents.
NWA movie?
Yeah, but they didn't
highlight it a lot because he was a part of the movie, but that's been people are knowing that the Dre's a woman beater.
Oh, I mean, no, I didn't know that. I mean, is that where the beats come from? Is that where the
Beats by Dre.
Is that where it comes from?
Damn, that's fucked up.
That's the R. Kelly shit when you include it into your work.
Power
what
beats.
You do, that's a different level.
Power beats.
That's a different level.
Pied Piper R&B Beats by Dre.
Yeah, that's a different level.
Hey, you have to start watching what these people say.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I hate to laugh at domestic
How can women
jokes,
support
domestic
Beats by
violence
Dre?
jokes.
You got the...
They sound so good. What else we got?
Oh man,
I don't have anything else regarding.
Hey, you said you want to talk about the Weeknd's fucked up face.
Oh yeah. The only thing I had about that was that people actually believe that was the Weeknd's face.
Like that he had
People are
surgery.
stupid, though.
I heard
people
that.
like, oh no, why would he do that to himself?
I thought he had plastic surgery.
Yeah. I heard
people
that.
literally thought that. And I'm like, yo,
Bro, like,
it's a music video.
so that people think that he was actually in a car wreck every time they saw him
Every
last year.
time.
Like,
Just kept
he
running.
just got out of a car wreck.
Bumper cars, bro.
People are literally like, I'm just saying, like, yo, people are so stupid.
Believe
Yeah,
anything.
though.
Where I mean,
He
this
was
is
looking
2020.
looking like Martin in the Hitman Hearns episode.
Yeah. That's one thing I just was like, man, America, there's no hope for Americans.
What is he doing though?
I don't know.
Make it stop.
he's
He's
taking
getting
it to
so
another
weird,
level.
bro.
Because he
good
didn't
on
get that Grammy nom, so like he's adding on to the costume. He's supposed to be deeper into social injustice on the album and all that extra shit.
I don't
That's
want
what
to
I
hear
heard.
that from the Weeknd.
Not really, but
Me either.
I mean, I don't want to hear that
That's the
anymore.
level
All the
he's
time.
I don't want you. Don't nobody want to hear nobody sing about social justice and
No.
shit.
I mean, not the Weeknd when he talks about drugs and fucking bitches or something.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm good on that part. And I mean, look, the makeup shit is cool for like video, but like it just seems like he's doing it. Like
It's like a persona he's adopting.
Right,
now.
right.
Like this is who
Routine.
I am. It's weird. I don't like it.
It's odd. I think he might be a cool person.
I
but
doubt
Next
it.
level.
I doubt it.
yeah, why would you want to do
He's
that
a
to yourself?
weirdo,
I mean,
bro.
I think you just might have to have a lot of money or something where you just feel like
You got that.
you hire a makeup crew and just experiment with a bunch of shit.
Well,
Maybe
we'll see. We'll see what he looks like at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he's doing a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's why he's on every fucking commercial.
All the commercials.
All weekend.
You know that?
Every commercial was a Pepsi commercial.
Did I
them
miss the
singing the
weekend?
weekend.
Oh, no,
All
I
the
missed
football games.
I missed that.
Yeah, look
shit.
at Entendra's out here. Carl got bars.
I missed
Did
that
I
shit.
miss the weekend?
Oh, you just blanked out the whole weekend, man?
Bro,
Yeah.
I tell you.
That's what it is.
Understood.
That's what it is.
Shocked.
Understood.
Fucking shocked.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Y'all said that you had to get your jokes off on YK as well, Mr. Osiris.
They've been killing
I honestly
the
didn't even
only
pay
thing
any
I
attention.
had to say about that was just that, like, this rap shit really like high school. So what happens with YK Osiris is he posted some video or picture of him in this Gucci outfit, and
Gucci jackets.
there was a Gucci jacket. He had some pants on, some Gucci pants on too.
Were they real? I thought the thing was
The jacket apparently was not real.
I thought like
The
he
pants
made a
were.
thing about that though, like specifically about it not being real. No.
No, he said that it's real, but it's like a custom jacket.
Well, he had posted it and people started killing him. And then he went back and re-explained it.
Specifically, it was 21 Savage and
Mustard
and DJ Mustard that started killing him. And to me, it was so funny because he was so hurt by it. Like,
oh, really?
He really got on his Instagram, like,
I didn't see anything.
Explaining himself, like,
I don't know if he was hurt.
No,
I think he like dragged it out because you see all the attention he was getting from it.
No, he was hurt, bro.
Because he got on live with Mustard in 21 and
after the fact, yeah. But I'm saying initially, he was pulling up pictures from the website saying, "Oh, I guess Ross wear fake stuff too," or "I guess Moneybag Yo wear fake stuff too."
Because they ended up finding the whole picture that DJ Mustard had the same jacket.
Yeah.
Get out. You said you got one more topic for us.
I don't know if y'all heard of this new imposter artist by the name of Dusty Locane. I'm gonna just play all this track and tell me who it sounds like.
That's a crazy name.
What the fuck?
Dusty Locane.
Okay.
Locane.
Get out of here.
I don't even really care about the name for real.
Just straight Pop Smoke. Straight Pop Smoke.
We got the braids too.
He don't got the braids. If we had the braids, that would have been overboard, bro. But
where did you find this?
Pat?
Of course.
Act posted him.
Hip hop mogul.
He's a
I
terrible
can't
rapper.
believe this. Like, what's wrong with people?
He sounds like he's trying to make his voice as deep as possible.
It's almost like when Designer came out and they were saying, "Oh, you Future or something." It's like that. Like, why? You know they're gonna compare you to this. Maybe you think you can get some buzz off of it. I mean, he went viral for it.
That is
Designer
true.
was different, but
that shit sounded exactly like Future when it first dropped.
When Designer,
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that didn't sound like
was Future, bro.
But you can clearly tell the Designer has some level of talent. This dude does not. This guy does not.
Fair.
He does not have any talent for real. He's
an imposter, bro.
Designer is
Respect the dead.
Really rap.
Respect the dead.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's next level.
Just straight rip off.
But that's all I got.
Honestly, there wasn't any like actual new music that came out. There was only two songs that I liked. That Russ and Lil Baby that we started with, and the new Moray.
The record, even though Lil Baby gave Russ a throwaway verse. That was a throwaway verse.
I thought so too. It sounded good, but it wasn't anything that blows your mind. No, not at all.
Probably.
It was light. It was light.
I saw
the best Lil Baby verse.
I saw that Benny tweeted today. Plugs I Met too.
Oh,
March 19th.
Oh,
Harry Fraud.
Oh,
I'm excited about that one.
Need that.
And
that sounds pretty dope.
For time's sake, we won't get into it, but there was a Funk Flex video that came out today talking to the $1 million worth of Game Boys, saying that Drake did not write that freestyle that he read off of his phone on Funk Flex and was kind of like going in on Drake.
But can he just let it go?
I don't know. Did they got problems?
Funk Flex ain't like Drake for forever, right?
I don't really know.
Yeah, he do be. Yeah.
He don't fuck with Drake.
Okay, so that makes more sense than if he's got problems.
Back to the Meek Mill thing.
Yeah.
That's where Meek dropped his song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why he gave bars to Charlamagne, because he don't fuck with Flex. That type of shit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense. Well, in that case, then I'll just run on it real quick. Yeah, that was mostly what he said, but he was like, "I'm telling you, he did not write it. He memorized it before we went on air, and then he pulled out the phone because he figured if I'm reading it off the phone, they'll think I wrote it." It was like
that make sense.
It was like a 45-second clip.
That don't make sense to me.
So he knew the verse and decided not to just rap it. I'm gonna fake like I'm
faked
reading
it. Yeah,
that's stupid.
That's according to Funk Flex.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Because especially at the time, it was like one of the corniest things.
Because he got killed because he was reading it on the blue.
Right, it was Drake. That was that new age shit that people weren't comfortable with.
Right,
Drake completely changed the rap game with that.
They killed Method Man for doing it later on. Like, they do not let you read. They do not like you reading your raps off the phone.
But then once people realize that people are writing verses that they already wrote, or rapping verses that they already wrote.
Right, it don't matter.
Like this just because you're not reading it don't mean he write that shit before he came in there.
Bro, rappers recycle verses. That's what they do.
What it is.
That's what they do.
It's kind of tougher now because back in the day when people did radio interviews, you could get away with saying the same verse over and over. Now,
it's
on YouTube.
Your videos put on YouTube every interview you do, so you can't just rap the same verse.
Right.
They're gonna be like, oh, you just rap that shit on Sway.
It's this clip of the game of them using the same exact verse at least 4 different times. Yeah,
people used to do it before.
Once on a radio station. Once in a rap battle.
Oh man, just pull it out anywhere.
The dude he was telling dude like, oh, well, you win. And the other guy was clearly freestyling like on the streets of LA. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing. Red guns, red roses. He started, but I'm like, yo, this is the same verse that you just did at the radio. Rappers been doing that shit for years. It's very rare you get a rapper that come out and freestyle anyway.
Right.
You'll get a verse from one of their songs. It's just how it goes.
Even battle rappers write their battle raps. It's not off the top. The battle raps is not off the top.
We
Not
don't
anymore.
It's cool to see off the top from a very, very select few. Outside of that, you don't want to hear off the top.
Like King
I want to hear you rap.
I want to listen to him freestyle.
One of the only ones, bro.
I like organized rap.
Yeah.
Overall.
Put it together and let us hear your best product.
Organized rap.
The off the top is just like a cool skill to flex every now and then.
It's certain people who can do shit like off the top as far as like rebuttal, or like put in like a couple lines.
When they do that in battle rap, my respect goes like that. Like from here to the next level. DNA is great at the rebuttals.
But I mean that's really not that hard to do. You think of like quick 2 or like
if you're a rapper, you can fix a rebuttal real quick.
Yeah, think of 4 quick bars or something. DNA just the way he makes it flow into his actual shit that he wrote is always great. But I mean,
smooth.
I want to watch
you should
battle
be able
rap,
to do it. Yeah, I used to fucking love
it's
battle
been a minute.
rap,
I gotta get back
I used to
on.
love that shit.
Should've died
It's
down.
not the same no more.
Yeah, it died down.
Can they even have a crowd?
Not right now.
The ones they've been doing recently ain't been nobody.
See, I don't want to see like a virtual battle rap.
No, that's not the same. Well, look, we've waited an hour. We'll get to basketball later if there's time. Let's get this work, though. Speaking of DNA, let's get this work.
Playoffs?
The fucking playoffs.
Let's talk about all the shit. I was like about to lose my mind last week because we could not get you to stop talking about the Steelers. It was like, all right, bro, enough already.
You was on another level.
It was so extra.
You said
a
fucking level.
2-score game.
4-0. Going for the ring.
You
can't stop best defense in the playoffs.
Yes.
You was taking it there,
best
bro.
defense in the league.
But specifically what I said about the Steelers defense is that they're the best group, or excuse me.
Get the fuck out of here.
The best group in all of football, regardless of any defensive offense or special teams in all of football.
How about today?
That is not true.
How about today?
All right, Brian Bosa, right.
True.
And they got 48 put on their head.
Look, 48 points.
Was it 21 in the first quarter? 28 in the first quarter?
28 in the first quarter.
All right, so no.
We'll let you go first.
Yeah, thank you. I
Take us
appreciate
through
that.
it. Take us through how you felt throughout the game.
Leading up to the game, man, I was feeling pretty good. Honestly, I was
So
like,
I put money on y'all.
We're gonna smack the fuck out of these brownies. And I'm like,
the Browns.
Yeah, we're gonna smack the fuck out of
the Browns.
You know, you heard about what you just said.
Before you continue, I just want you to remember. I think I said to you in the group. When Juju said the shit that he said, I was like, you never give a team ammunition to play against you with. And that's exactly what Juju did.
I thought
what was the thing they were saying after the game the whole time? The Browns is the Browns. Quoted specifically.
Yeah, bro,
that tells you that at the beginning of the week, that's the motto that they use to drive the whole week.
That shit really doesn't matter to me as much.
It matters.
It only matters because the Browns won, specifically in the fashion that they did win. But the Steelers would have said the exact opposite the Browns is the Browns if they would have won as well too. That shit really doesn't matter. It just gives them something to talk about and celebrate after the game.
It matters.
But leading up into the game, man, I was very confident. I seen Baker Mayfield tweet out the Browns is the Browns and put that shit on his Instagram. I'm like,
he tweeted before the game too.
Yeah, he did. He said Browns
Baker's
is
a
the
gangster,
Browns.
Yeah, that moxie.
Mika Fitzpatrick liked it. I said, yeah, you want to fight, bitch? We ready. You want to fucking fight,
Because he liked the tweet.
We ready. We seen that shit. We're coming. That's how I felt.
Oh, shit.
But apparently the Steelers weren't ready. They weren't up to the task because Marquise Pouncey, the first snap of the game,
Peyton Manning.
he snaps it over Ben Roethlisberger 6'5".
That is wild. It went way over. He could have been 7'5". It wouldn't.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have mattered.
That was crazy.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Ben wasn't even trying to fall on it. I want to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Ben looked like he didn't want to hurt himself.
Yeah, like
Business
like
decision.
fall on the ball, Ben.
But I mean, it looked like him and James Conner didn't know who was going to fall on the first.
Well,
so they didn't want to make
the Browns.
Yeah, they didn't want to make a mistake, but they really should have just kicked the ball out the back of the end zone.
Take the 2.
And just said, fuck it. You know, get the balls. That's not the way you want to start, but you definitely don't want to start with a fucking touchdown.
Not at all.
First play of the game.
I gasped. I did.
I gasped.
I said, but I'm like, okay.
I gasped.
We've been in worse situations than this.
For sure. 7-0's no big deal.
7-0.
It's nothing.
We get the ball back. Fuck the Brownies. We about to rush the
Brownies,
We about to
man.
march down this fucking field.
You better
Score
put
a
some respect
touchdown.
on that name.
What does Ben do the second drive?
I don't want this one
throws a
either.
Fucking interception
Big pick.
and a terrible one.
Yeah.
Or James Carter is 5 yards away.
He was right there.
He threw it over his head.
He was as far as the fucking camera is
Yeah,
right
he
there.
threw it over his head. An easy pick for the defender. The Browns get the ball again on the Steelers side of the field.
To the house.
And the
Get
defense
yourself together now.
The defense needs to get a stop there. That's what, but they don't. The Browns score again.
Is that Callaway on the...
No, that was Landry.
That was
on the big
21st
play.
point.
Yeah.
Megan Terrell Edmonds looked silly. He played a terrible game. Shout out to the 4-3-4 though. So and now it's 14-0. I'm still like, look, the Steelers have started off bad before. It's okay. You know, they started off this
Yeah, I
bad
said it.
before.
Y'all was setting it up, all the mustard to play catch up in the Heinz again.
Yeah, look,
You know how y'all
I'm
do.
like, look, we just
all
got
the
somebody has to make a play to turn it around. Offense comes out stagnant again. I don't think they do anything. We probably punt this drive, but the Browns go right back down the field and score. And Kareem Hunt carries a man into the end zone from the 5 yard. Robert Spillane.
I think that was a D lineman too.
No, Robert Spillane, the linebacker who just came up back off IR, who I was excited about. Not no fucking more, silly.
Said that was a big deal last week.
Not no more. Big Spilly is not the Big Dilly no more.
Big Spilly.
They call me Big Spilly.
Village.
He got dragged into the end zone for 5 yards, and I'm just like, it's 21-zip. The Browns is on another level.
The Browns is the Browns.
They said the Browns. The Browns for sure. They fucking some shit up right now. And I mean, it seemed like it was just insurmountable as the game went on.
No. I believe it was at 28-0. Maybe it was. Did it get to 20? Maybe it's 28-7. Somewhere around there is
28-7.
Is when you hit the chat with. I think if we get one splash play, we can make a comeback.
No, I mean seriously though, because that was the difference in the game. Because the Steelers just continuously Ben turned the ball over again. They were continuously turning the ball over. We just needed something to go into the Steelers' favor. So one splash play, we could have made it turn around, and it would have been 28-14 or 35. It ended up being 35-10 going into halftime.
Yeah.
We don't have much confidence, and the Browns get the ball back.
At home. This is at your house.
Which was not a home field advantage at all.
Fair.
But luckily,
But it was
they
at
came
home.
out They came out kind of lackluster in the second half.
So in the third quarter, the Browns definitely went to play not to lose mode.
Yeah.
I mean, the Steelers won every single quarter except for the first quarter. It's just the fact that in the first quarter,
what?
you get
Relax.
No, they won every.
I mean, that
by
might
the box score.
That might be true,
They
but
won.
that's not true.
You got blown out in the first quarter by 28-0. So really, after that, you have to blow them out a quarter, at least 21-0 to get back into the game. I think the closest the Steelers got to that was they scored 13 in the third quarter.
35-23.
Was it?
At one point.
When y'all got that close, and I was like, all right, the Browns could really fuck this up.
That was it.
Oh, the Browns' buttholes was tight at that point.
I think it was
35-23.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, we're choking right
And
now.
y'all was on a nice little drive, and then it came
Ben
to a
was hitting
4th
some
and
shots.
short.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell?
And y'all decided not to go for it and try to get him to jump off the ball with the punch team.
Why did he not go for it?
It's like, why would you not? Y'all down. You have to go for it.
And the momentum was on your side at that
Yeah,
point.
y'all had a couple good drives back to back.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on.
We had scored back-to-back drives and gotten back-to-back 3 and outs, though.
Right.
So, I mean, I think the thinking of it is that we've gotten a couple stops here. We're going to try to pin them deep and then see if the defense can make a splash play because they hadn't made a play yet. The thing that's happened for the Steelers all year long is that T.J. Watt or a timely interception would come.
Yeah.
Those things didn't happen. But it's 73 straight games, 73 straight regular season games, the NFL record with a sack. The Steelers did not get a sack against the Browns in that game. You know the last time that happened to the Steelers?
73 games ago.
No, because I said it was regular season games.
Oh.
The last time they didn't get a sack in a game
I don't know.
was the Jacksonville playoff game where they put up 45 points on the Steelers defense. So really watching this game, it was very similar to that Jacksonville playoff game, but worse. Because again, I kept telling myself it can't get worse, but it only got worse.
And because it's the Browns. It's the rival.
Right, yeah.
It's
And
the
it's
little
the fucking
shitty
Browns,
little brother that you don't have any respect
Baker
for.
Mayfield.
Just
It was a long
punching
time
you in
coming.
the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Mike Tomlin should have went for the 4th and 1 because if we don't get it there, fuck it. It is what it is. We've been getting our ass whooped pretty much all game.
I thought that was a clear mistake.
Yeah, you have to.
I thought it was a situation where I get the thinking or the reasoning behind it. You don't want to cause too much negativity, but right there, you can't be living in your fears. We got to go fucking gun-ho and put the ball in Ben's hands and make something happen.
When it was 14-0, you said they probably punted. No, wasn't that when they got stuffed on 4th? Didn't you go for it? Or was it a 3rd down that Watt got stuffed and then they punted?
Oh, yeah, because, that was a 3rd down.
Okay.
And you want to know something about that? That was the play.
His first carry or something.
That's how bad the Steelers offense
I was wondering. I was like, so y'all choose the first playoff game to play a running back, give a running back the ball that hasn't got a snap all year?
Well, no, it worked. It worked the first time they did it. They did it.
I was running them a lot.
No, he ran the ball twice. But that's the play. That's how bad the Steelers' offense is. That's the play we've been saving all year for the playoffs.
Terrible.
It was a fucking fullback dive. It worked on the first 3rd and 1, and all Steelers fans like, all right, cool.
That was
you don't go back to the same exact play on the next 3rd and 1.
That was y'all's tricking y'all's bag that y'all put out for the playoffs.
That was the trick up the sleeve. Was fucking Derek Watt up the middle.
Look, Tom
did
was
say,
like, hey, run the joint.
Run the
Run the joint.
He did say you can't have enough Watts, so maybe he thought this Watt was going to be a great tip.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's a good special teams player or whatever, but I thought that was just a bad call. Just put the ball in Ben's hands and try to make something happen. But
it was a debacle, bro.
Ultimately,
I had so much fun.
Ultimately, it's the most embarrassing loss of the Tomlin era. Really, I think this forces the Steelers to enter a mini rebuild. It's going to be ugly for the Steelers for the next 2 seasons or so.
Did those couple of guys that you mentioned yesterday, did they officially say they're retiring?
Oh no,
Pouncey and Alejandro?
It's been a lot of talk before the season about Al specifically. Pouncey, the reason why they say that him and Ben was crying on the sidelines together is because Pouncey said that he was going to retire or that this was his last one. I mean, I think it's true. Pouncey hasn't been good. I mean, he's been a decent center, but nowhere near the first round pick that he was when the Steelers originally got him. He was getting stood up all day yesterday. He snapped the ball over Ben's head and gave the Browns 7 points to start the game.
Remember when you was
he needs to retire?
Telling me about my Patriots or whatever and saying
I remember.
It's gonna be 30 years in between a championship actually happened. Y'all 10 years in y'all's.
Okay,
I think you were just speaking about y'allself because y'all's gonna be another 20 more years for y'all to get there.
No, we're doing we've already started doing our time. You haven't really,
right?
So you're in the beginning stages of that shit, bro.
I mean,
just let it settle.
Just one season.
It's gonna be a rough, like I said, a couple years for the Steelers, regardless, or depending on what they can do at the quarterback position going forward. Because Ben obviously can still play. He threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, so it's some good in there. It's just too much bad.
68 passes or something? Though?
68 attempts.
I mean, the 400 yards. Yeah, I think it was 500. Yeah,
500 yards.
Yeah, it's impressive. Don't get me wrong, but at that kind of game, it was
it was a necessity. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessary. He was part of the reason
Kobe
why
scoring 60 when he put up 50 shots.
But that's what I try to compare to people. Ben is our Kobe. Oh. As a Steelers fan, Ben Roethlisberger was what Kobe Bryant was.
I can't really argue against it. You can feel however you want to feel about your guy.
I mean that's serious though. Both all-time great players may not be viewed as necessarily the greatest, but you live and die with that person.
Can I tell you?
Towards the end of the Lakers, like Kobe wasn't great, but that's all they had. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They won't make it in the postseason. Right. It's just Kobe was going to jack up a bunch of shots, and sometimes it was going to be a really good night for Kobe, and sometimes it was going to be a really bad night. And that's kind of what Ben is in right now. And it's not even necessarily game to game anymore. It's quarter to quarter with bad Ben and good Ben. So I don't think it's worth it for him to continue.
Can I tell you some Big Ben playoff stats that I heard Monday that blew me away?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're not great.
Yeah, not great. After a 10-2 playoff start when he was young, and y'all were doing your thing,
he hasn't won much since.
Last 10, he's 3-7, and the last 4 times that they got knocked out were Blake Bortles, Flacco, Tebow, Mayfield, and in playoff career,
he's got ass.
Playoff career numbers are 34 touchdowns, 28 interceptions.
Oh my God.
I was just shocked by all that. I'm not saying he's garbage or anything. I'm just saying when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's been not like just a bad playoff season. Like, that's rough.
Early in Ben's career, it's no secret that he wasn't great in the playoffs, but he just made the timely plays because we had such a stout defense that Ben didn't have to be great. He just had to make the timely play. His last 2 playoff performances, though, would be last Sunday and the Jacksonville game. It wasn't necessarily terrible in totality. It's 975 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, or 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
I think y'all didn't reach that level. Where I know you hate it when people compare y'all to like the Cowboys or the Eagles or these type of organizations where y'all brand as an organization has become bigger than y'all actually being a really high quality winning championship team.
I think that's fair.
I mean, the Steelers hype is just so big now that everybody expects y'all to be a Super Bowl contender to a certain extent, but y'all just ain't been there in almost a decade now. It's like,
yeah, I mean, we was in the AFC Championship in 2016, so it's not something that's like, or 2017. It's not something that's like completely far gone. The Steelers have been competitive, but yeah, I mean, I would agree with that assessment. Is that the hype is a little bit bigger than the product that Mike Tomlin has been putting on the field, specifically in the postseason.
Yeah. Y'all do decent. Y'all do great in the regular season.
I mean, normally
winning seasons.
I would just say that this loss should put Mike Tomlin on the clock. Not to say that he should be fired, anything clock? Like that, but it puts you on the clock, brother. Because
it's a little rough.
You can't. Your last 2 playoff performances have been embarrassing. Your teams have looked unprepared in these playoff performances. You got outcoached by a coach who weren't there.
Yeah, well, we got to talk a little bit about the Browns.
Yeah.
The fact that they did all that without Stefanski is what blew my mind. Right. Because I was going to bet on y'all anyway, but I ended up putting it in early in the week once it was announced that he definitely wasn't coaching and they had missed practice. I want to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Once it got to that, I was like, there's no way. They were already the underdog. There's no way they can't just not practice all week, not have a coach, and have any chance in this game.
And not to mention, during the game, which is wild, you said y'all didn't get no sack that game, like 2 of their best linemen got hurt.
Early.
Like they was down to like practice squad linemen on the field type shit.
Yeah,
I still couldn't sack them.
I was watching this shit, and I'm like, yo, where is it? The scheme, they had it schemed up so they weren't putting Baker in any harm's way. You can't really make him. Like he was getting the ball out of his hands quick and stuff like that. So I think they out-coached Tomlin's unit without being present. I think they probably put in a little bit more time in film study and just guys knowing what to do.
What's his name? Was the offensive coordinator that was coaching?
No, it was the special teams coach.
Oh wow! That's even worse.
That's crazy, right?
I don't know. Special teams coaches are kind of they have to have a grip on both with the
But he was the play caller. Going from special teams to the play caller.
No,
the
he
game?
wasn't the play caller.
Oh, I thought he was the play caller.
Offensive coordinator was still there.
Coordinator was.
He just was head
his
coach.
play calls was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he kept the Steelers off balance, but it's not nothing that the Browns. They didn't show us anything new. They were just running. They were blocking the fuck out of the Steelers. I mean, let's be real about it. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt just were running.
They have one of the better lines that people don't speak on,
and making guys miss 1-on-1. It was bad. So
You
the
gotta
Browns
give
just
Baker some
outplayed the
credit
Steelers.
too.
You know what the icing on the cake of all this is?
I think Baker played well. I'm not going to sit there and say that Baker killed the Steelers. What killed the Steelers was turnovers, and then
I think you should say all this stuff. I'm just Baker played his first playoff game.
He played well.
And did his thing.
He did.
He played a good game, but you get 5 turnovers and
He had 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had some short fields for sure.
yeah, I mean, it
263 yards. It wasn't like
he didn't light it on fire, bro. You didn't leave that game saying Baker,
man.
Baker was the guy that won that game. You're saying Ben threw 5 fucking.
Of course. I'm not saying
He should have capitalized off of it. He made sure they capitalized off
by
of it.
handing it to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They did a lot of the dirty work.
You're gonna do the hating. I expect it.
I'm not hating on Baker.
I'm going to say this. The icing on the cake after all this, of course, losing to the Browns, but do you know that the guys that y'all said was a problem the last 2 years are both in the playoffs still? Mr. Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown are moving on in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, but that has little to do with anything because Le'Veon sucks. And,
Maybe Le'Veon, but no, AB has been a part.
AB's not
got a
a part.
touchdown.
AB's doing his thing, but they're about to get put out, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, let's keep it moving. We did 20 minutes on the Steelers. That was fun. You suck. And it was fun to make fun of you. I'll admit, though, to the rest of the world listening right now, Carl has taken all the jokes for 2 to 3 days now.
It's facts.
Has gotten in on the jokes. He's been a very good sport about this.
It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. And we love it.
I still
we
can't.
love
I'm
it.
in disbelief.
You should be.
Did I tell y'all I can't believe this shit?
Right.
I woke up and I've been saying 48 points.
48.
It's
You
unreal.
did wake up and put that in the chat
It's
immediately this
unreal.
morning.
But yeah, let's talk about some other games.
All right, let's move on to. I didn't really put these in order, but I just took notes. So I've got the Seahawks game. The Rams dominated them. Their defense looked incredible.
Yeah.
They looked unstoppable. And then once Donald got hurt, I was
still
thinking it
looked
was going to be a problem, and it was not a problem.
And the
at all.
offense is like the complete opposite. I don't even know how they were scoring.
Yeah.
Because the offense is horrible.
I thought they were better than I expected because I expected the offense to be garbage, and Goff did his thing enough to get the job done. And then late in the game, the touchdown to really put it away was a pretty nice little play they ran when it seemed like it was an obvious run situation.
They made some plays down the stretch for sure.
They did.
But my impression for the game was just that what happened to Russell Wilson? That's just all.
It's been like that for the last 4 or 5 weeks now.
I mean, yeah, but I haven't watched a lot of Seattle football.
But I mean, I don't put all the blame on him though, because he had no time to do anything.
Yeah, that line
they were just in the backfield every single play.
Yeah.
And the screen interception, I still stand on that receiver is supposed to make the block. He's not supposed to let the corner just jump that route like that.
Oh, yeah,
As
for
soon
sure.
as Russ takes a snap, he's throwing it over to the sideline. So, I mean, I don't blame him for that at all. Right after we were really killing him the most is when he threw that just ridiculous pass to Metcalf deep, kind of going opposite direction and stuff. He clearly was not anywhere near as good this year as it looked like he was in the first 4 weeks.
Came out hot.
I don't know, that particular game, he had no time to do
It's
anything.
relationship issues, man. He going through relationship
I just
problems.
seen him and Sierra post some little new challenge online.
It's some shit that's going on that you don't know about. We'll hear about it.
Ain't she pregnant right now?
That might be
Another
it.
baby?
He might be stressed. There's some shit going on. I ain't saying it was necessarily bad.
I saw something that said that he hasn't won a playoff game since they had did the video where they like pretended to be Busta Rhymes and the
the Halloween joint? That's stupid.
Obviously, that was this past year, but it was like he hadn't been the same since they put this out.
That's stupid.
I mean, it's alarming to me. And I don't really buy into the whole, like, I know they're playing against Aaron Donald, but Russell Wilson's offensive line has been bad
the whole year.
I mean, the whole time we've known Russell Wilson, except for the Legion of Boom, I guess, kind of. But they were operating differently.
Even then,
at that time.
questionable.
Yeah, it was questionable.
It was better, but it was running the ball more than
That's always been the issue.
That's a good point.
That's always been the issue with them, though. Even in recent years when they didn't have a run game, is the fact that their offensive line was bad, but it didn't stop Russell Wilson from doing what he does.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is what happened to Russell Wilson. Is,
Sure. That's fair.
he carried him so long, and it's not that like they don't necessarily have to win this game. It's just that it's the way that Russell Wilson is looking in their losses is
There's so much more man can do, especially when your defense is horrible.
Uncharacteristic things, though. Some throws and decision making stuff that you're not used to seeing from Russell Wilson. He's normally gives his team the best chance to win. And
using more poise, but you can tell like he has to take his shots when he can get them.
Yeah.
That's how he plays. Like, I'm not gonna get too many opportunities to make this shot down the field, so I gotta take it.
Yeah.
So I understand it.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed by the Rams. We'll do next week's games in a minute. Bills Colts.
That was a good game.
Yeah, that was a great game.
That was probably the best game of the week.
Yeah.
As far as like just fun, good game to watch.
I thought the Colts were going to win it. I thought they should have won it. Of course, I picked
They
the
left
Colts.
a lot of points out there.
They left a lot of points on the field. Crazy stat. Colts are the first team in playoff history with 450 yards and no turnovers and still lose the game.
Lose the game.
Yeah, nobody has done that before. And
They're completing them drives.
No.
You got to complete them drives.
Well, I just think you had to take the points when they were available. I think it was the 4th and 1 or something like that, 4th and goal that they went for early on in the game.
Tell the truth. Was that your opinion before the play happened? Because next week we got to get these calls in before they happen. It's easy to question going for it on 4th and goal after they don't get it. But
right.
You don't think they should have?
When they went for it, I personally said they should have took the 3. Like that was my feeling when I saw them going for it, is because it's the playoffs. Like it's not really necessarily guaranteed that you're going to get this opportunity to score again or anything like that. And I get that's why you say you want to go for it, but you go ahead and get the 3, reward your offense early. You only want to press for points when you have to. That's how I feel about it. Let the game come to you, and then you can press for these points later down the line if you need to go for 2 then, or if you need a touchdown now. We can do these things on 4th down. But right now, it wasn't a critical moment in the game. I think the Colts were up at that time. It might have been like 10-7 or something like that. Go up 13-7. Who cares if they go up 14-13? That's an issue you can deal with later on. So that's why that's what my stance is on it. If they were down at that point, it'd be different.
I feel like at that point in time, I didn't think they were going to be able to hang with the Bills offense. So I thought there was a good time to go for it. And that pass was so close.
It was.
So close to being a touchdown.
Yeah, it was.
I think missing the field goal later on was a big deal because it wasn't even like it was a big 50-yard field goal or nothing. He just missed an easy one.
It was a 39-yarder, I think.
And he's been super reliable all year.
Yeah.
Old Rodrigo.
He's a good kicker.
But I was glad. I'm cheering for the Bills. I think they're fun to watch. And we get the matchup that we wanted for next week. So we got a little 20-piece on that Lamar and
that's the one y'all
Josh
bet on,
Allen.
right?
It was not supposed to happen. Oh my God, man. I can't believe we're talking about this shit.
And even better now, Cleveland goes to KC, and I still got that future bet on KC winning the Super Bowl. So let's make it as easy as possible.
It makes it a very soft path
Let's do it.
for KC.
Speaking of soft path, the Saints just beat the shit out of the Bears. That was the worst game of the week.
I told you that was a toss-up, though, for sure.
No,
it wasn't,
No,
though.
you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I said
You said that was an easy pick that the Saints was going to win that game.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. I mean, not like a toss-up 50-50.
Oh, all right.
But like a layup.
toss-up
What I meant
I
to
was
say.
like, what kind of toss-up you mean?
I'm in a layup.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be a close game or anything, but they effectively scored 3 points. They got the extra touchdown in the last play of the game, but it meant nothing. They scored 3 points the whole playoff game, and that loser dropped the touchdown in the first quarter off the trick play.
Yeah.
I think that might have changed the whole game if you caught that.
But it's normally like
A 50-yard bomb.
it's normally about 3 games or 3 plays that define or decide a game, and those are you got to swing the momentum or make those plays when you can. It was a gimme touchdown that any of us could have caught. I mean,
It was
seriously.
so open. Like, that just doesn't happen in the NFL.
Right.
In the end zone to get that open.
Yeah.
You just drop it.
Gotta make it happen.
It was bad. Big Mitch out there, man.
How the fuck did Big Mitch win what was it? Nickelodeon MVP?
Did y'all watch the Nickelodeon broadcast?
I didn't.
So what I was doing is I told my boy I was watching the Bears drives on Nickelodeon and the
Shit, it
Saints
made it
drives
better.
on the other, because it felt like the Bears were like the little kid offense. So I wanted to watch them on Nickelodeon.
But I thought the broadcast wasn't bad though. It's like
It was interesting.
It
It was
was
cool.
weird because I don't know if you had the volume up, but they were like when they were doing the play-by-play or breaking down stuff, they were like trying to teach the game as well too.
That's what I thought would have been funny. Like who was talking?
It was Nate Burleson.
Nate Burleson. So a guy who's kind of like.
Yo, so did you think it was like cartoons calling the game? That's what I thought. I thought it was
they had
SpongeBob calling the
characters
game.
Calling the game.
No.
That's what it sounded like when
That
I seen the
was-
clips, but I didn't watch the game to even see
I
it.
thought it was a regular announcer and SpongeBob like doing the game.
That would have been hilarious.
No, it would have been fucking terrible. What
would've
they
been
did
kinda
was
cool.
cool. They made it like kid friendly, but it still was football. Like
they
I
should do
could have
some
watched it on that and been fine.
They call the end zone the slime zone.
That was funny.
The slime cannons when they scored the touchdowns
That
was
was
cool. I think it was a great idea, honestly. I mean, just to get into that real quick, the Nickelodeon thing, they catered it to getting young fans.
Yeah, right.
Like, just business wise, it
It's a smart
was a
move.
genius decision. Yeah, I
They should really do the
liked it.
slime for like celebrations now.
So you can't go back to regular football anymore once you see.
Well, you know,
They changed the game
instead of the
forever.
Gatorade, you should get slime when you win the Super Bowl.
Oh, right.
Okay,
Right.
I could go with
I
that.
can see that.
I could go with
I can
that.
see it.
They should do that shit.
Do you think that opens up the possibility of them starting to go to like different alternative calling of the games? Like back when All the Smoke did their little
Oh yeah, they did.
almost like Twitch type thing where they called the game and just called it, you know, how they like to talk.
Right.
Unfiltered and all that
I
kind
think
of thing.
people should do that anyway.
I think so too. I think it's a great
People have the capability
Idea
of
moving
setting up
forward.
their own situation where they could just call a game and people could watch it.
Yeah.
People could do it. Somebody just gotta go ahead and do it.
Regular announcers get annoying as hell.
Yeah.
I hate Chris Collinsworth.
He's really bad.
He's the fucking worst.
He's really bad. I like Aikman. A lot of people
I'm not a
don't.
Troy Aikman fan.
I like Aikman and I like Joe Buck. A lot of people hate both of those two.
I used to hate Booger McFarland.
He was really bad.
He's awful. I mean, it's just some people just like,
Really bad.
bro, are you watching the game
Right.
that I'm watching, or did you watch any of the football
Right.
all year, or are you just saying shit right now?
More of the latter. Just
Yeah,
pointing
much.
out the same thing
Yeah.
week after week after week. Same story about, oh, Tom Brady is doing that.
The Saints and Bears are so boring. I can't even remember any plays that the Saints made.
Definitely the worst
I can
game.
only remember the plays that the Bears did not make.
Yeah, the drop was the only play I remember. I didn't watch a lot of that game though, so
That was the worst game for sure.
we'll keep it moving.
Titans and Ravens.
That was a good game.
was a good game.
That might have been, I don't want to say the second best, but it might have been. That was a good one though. I think the Titans, well, I don't want to be the hater that you are towards Baker, towards Lamar. Lamar he played a very good game and he put the team on his back. And what did you say he was? Most electrifying or some shit?
the most explosive player in the playoffs.
Explosive. I'm with that. I'm fine with that. You can make a case for Tyreek Hill, but he's got the ball in his hands every play. So
right.
Lamar's got that. But I feel like that game was lost by the Titans coaching. They were up 10-0. Obviously couldn't hold on to that lead. Their defense is one of the worst in the league, and they played really well that game.
They really did. It was 20-13.
In the second half, they just refused to go back to throwing the ball. They kept trying to pound Derrick Henry. I understand he was incredible this year.
Yeah.
But
he
they
won't
had
get it done.
success running the ball, and they had no success. I'm sorry, opposite. They had success passing the ball, no success running the ball, and he just refused to stop doing it.
AJ Brown was going into beast mode.
I mean,
Yeah,
early in the
every
game.
time he touched
to
the
give
ball.
him a little credit, Derrick Henry usually goes off in second halves.
Sure.
So I can understand them keep going to him, hoping that he'll break a run at some point, but it just didn't happen. So what can you do?
I really felt like they lost that game. And then they had another situation similar to the one we were talking about with the Steelers, where they punted towards the end of the game on like the 45 or something instead of going for it. It just seemed like an obvious time that they needed to go for it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they wouldn't really have an answer for Lamar Jackson. Throughout the totality of the game, just because their defense isn't good enough. That's what I thought coming into the game. They played a lot better than I thought they were going to. Got a lot more sacks than I thought they were going to get too. I mean, because their pass rush
seemed to have a good defensive game plan.
Yeah, they did
of how they were going to try to contain him.
What I thought was odd though is that Baltimore's approach. It wasn't about even trying to really get Lamar Jackson to pass the ball. It was a lot of like design quarterback power runs early in the game. It was just where it really wasn't productive at all. He was only getting like maybe a yard or two, and then he ended up breaking the big one on the scramble. But that was a scramble play. That's what changed the game.
That blew the game.
And that play is all Lamar.
Yeah.
There's not another quarterback in the league that does
things that you cannot account for. It's just, all right, you could say, all right, we're going to put the ball in his hands and we want him to beat us from the pocket. But, he can do that sometimes. Maybe not as consistently as you would like it, but he certainly can do it. But it's just the things that you can't account for is when he escapes. Even if you have a man.
That motherfucker's acceleration speed.
It's
like he was there and you thought they had him and then you just turn it up and just breeze don't by the ass.
Lamar Jackson doesn't lose speed when he does a juke move.
Right.
It's one of the rare, he can go like completely dead leg, give you the left, and then take off without losing speed.
Quick adjustments.
I thought, I don't think there's much to get into about last night's game, but watching the Devontae Smith, it reminded me of Lamar. When he got running. He was just so much faster than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean.
And the stop and go speed that's probably the most impressive out of anything.
Yeah,
you can make those moves and stay at top speed. What are you supposed to do?
It makes him a problem because the linebackers can't keep up with him. And it's definitely not the defensive linemen. These are the guys who are pretty much in charge of keeping him in his place. And then once it gets to the DBs, it's too late. Either you're going to have to run them out of bounds or sayonara. What are you going to say?
It was sayonara. Mostly sayonara.
Yeah.
I do want to say something about that national championship game last night. That shit made me realize why I've not been into college football as I used to be back in the day. Because Alabama is a fucking monopoly. It's just not even fair. Like, put it like this. I think Patriots used to get a lot of hate in their 20-year run or whatever, doing what they're doing, always being in the top 3 or somewhere in the conversation of a Super Bowl. But the thing is, the league has things in place so when you're at the top, you're not getting the high draft picks. You go right to the bottom and your schedule is harder the next season. So you don't have the breeze the next season. Alabama is in a national championship or in the playoff every year, winning it every other year. And then they get 5 of the top 10 All-Americans on the team in the offseason. They just replenish whatever they just lost or whoever goes to the league right the next season and they right back in it. It's a monopoly. They got to spread this shit out somehow.
Well, that's what Miami used to do. I mean, that's just part of college football. I agree with you. I mean, that's why I don't care for college football as much either, because it's
like
pretty much predetermined.
It's controlled by the coaches, though. It's just guys who can go play for who those big name coaches are. That's the guys who
it's just wild
to play for.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I do think that is. I think they would be better off if that wasn't the case. But I mean, it's college sports. It's recruiting and stuff. I don't know how you limit that.
It's just craziness. The
last NFL game.
You were about to say it's another game, right?
Yeah, the Washington-Tampa game.
Oh, yeah.
That game was way better than I expected.
Right.
Shout out to
that boy Heineke.
Yeah.
Heineke came with it a little bit.
He was just throwing the ball. He was throwing that bitch up.
Slinging it.
Yeah, he was throwing some solid throws.
He was fearless.
He made himself some money.
The run for the touchdown towards the end of the game was ridiculous. It was like he was sacked like 4 times and somehow got out. I didn't really have much to say about that one. I thought Tampa looked okay. They looked like they were going to run away early and they couldn't do it. So I was a little bit surprised by that.
Tampa's secondary is the most suspect thing
apparently
on that team. They're not good there. So I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can hold a lead versus anybody. Just because once you get up, 10 plus points, people gonna have to throw it on you anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see what happens.
It's going down next week.
Of course, they're super explosive though. I didn't know Mike Evans was playing. I thought after I know he played. And
It looked so
fine.
bad in
It
week
looked-
17.
It looked like he was gonna be out.
He couldn't even put pressure on his leg.
And then he comes out on the field.
He been
No,
playing
but-
through injuries like the whole season.
His
pretty
whole
much.
career.
Yeah.
He seems a little fragile.
Tampa can score a lot of points though, so as long as they keep doing that, they'll at least be in the games for sure.
Well, we only got like 10, 15 minutes left, so let's get on to the upcoming games for next week. Tampa and New Orleans. The Saints seem to be a good team, but they don't impress me that much.
Right.
I feel like Tampa could go in and beat them, but they've got smacked twice.
Yeah. But I think that's more reason why they would beat them. I
I'm
don't see
sold.
them
I'm
winning
with
3
you.
times in a row in the
I'm
same
sold.
season.
I'm taking Tampa.
I don't see it.
I think Tampa's going to win.
It's a hard pick though, just because, like you said, I'm gonna go with the Saints because of what we've seen thus far.
I'm definitely going Tampa. Hell yeah, I'm right too.
Not to say that Tampa can't win, but
I would rather the
I
Saints
believe
win.
in playoff Brady.
Yeah, it's hard to bet
Can't
against
count him
that
out.
team.
yeah, for sure. I mean, but
With all the weapons.
Brady don't play defense, and
Oh shit, you're right. No, I got the
No
Saints.
idea.
I think didn't the last 2 times, or at least one of the times that the Saints beat up on the Buccaneers, Michael Thomas wasn't even available.
Yeah,
So
I don't think either.
he
game.
is this time. I don't see him stopping them. So I mean, we'll see. But
Saints have a great D.
Tampa is a
Secondary's
dark
great,
horse in the NFC. They are, because they kind of got.
Who did you say?
Tampa's a dark horse
yeah.
in the NFC for sure.
They got top rush defense,
Right,
which will be
right.
tough
They-
on Kamara.
They got
He'll do
some
his
tough
thing.
things, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Saints just because of what we've seen in the previous 2 matchups. I don't think they closed the gap that much, and they didn't show me anything last week just to say that they did.
We'll see.
You said you're going
Go with Tampa.
Yeah.
Go with Tampa.
I don't
Never
feel
bet against
strongly
Brady
about
in the
that.
playoffs.
Yeah, I've learned that before.
I mean, he is going against. It's not Heineke this time. It is Breeze.
I mean, sure. I'm just saying.
Just saying,
You've been killing Breeze all year.
he's better than Heineke. I can say that.
A little bit.
I'll say that.
Maybe.
I ain't been killing
Maybe.
Breeze all year. This was
Heineke
before
was
the
balling.
season.
Maybe.
And I didn't
Yeah.
kill Breeze. I just said he wasn't Breeze.
Hated on
of the
him all
old.
year.
That's it.
Chiefs, Browns.
Like, what we doing? Like,
The Chiefs, man.
like your salty boy said, they finna get clapped.
Yeah. We didn't even get into that, but
Oh yeah.
we all got Chiefs right. Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I mean, I ain't gonna count out the Browns.
I'm not gonna count them out.
Can't
now.
count them out now.
You better not.
I can't count them out
You
now.
definitely can't count them out now. I ain't gonna count them out, but Chiefs should get that done.
Kareem Hunt said it's personal for him, and it should be. They let my man go for no reason.
See, Mahomes gave him props during the game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure
He's
they
a
boys.
beast. Yeah.
I'm sure they boys. Kareem's Hunt.
That's cool.
He's a great talent. He's better than the running backs they have now. For the Chiefs.
True.
But
Is Alaire playing yet? Is he healthy?
I
yeah, I
believe
think
he'll
he
be
will
back,
be.
yeah.
The thing that I mean, only way I would see the Browns winning if they go out there and Nick Chubb just has a monster day. I don't see that
I see
happening.
it. Chiefs defense ain't that great.
They not, but I don't see it happening.
That's solid enough.
Ultimately, we're talking about Mahomes versus the Browns secondary. I think that's the biggest matchup.
Yeah.
Browns secondary is not
Go
good. Ben threw for 500 yards. Granted, he threw 4 interceptions as well, but
Can't forget that.
Mahomes is at least gonna go for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Hopefully so.
I can see it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be. I don't know. I'll say it maybe within 10.
Yeah.
At the same time, that layoff, when was the last time they played? It's been like 2
Mahomes,
weeks.
That's the thing that's
2.5
scary.
weeks.
Mahomes hasn't played football.
They ain't played in a
while.
minute.
So
I don't care. Mahomes.
yeah, I'll take Andy Reid off the bye.
What do you think about Bills Ravens? We already got our bets in.
Bills Ravens.
I do think
That's
it'll
gonna
be
be a
close.
tough one.
I do think it'll be close, and I'm not overly confident that the Bills win, but I got to ride with Josh Allen. We
Yeah.
were talking shit. We were betting. I mean, I got to stick Bills.
Yeah.
Diggs is hurt.
Is he?
He got hurt
Is he like
in the
out
last
hurt?
game. I don't know if he's gonna be out, but he's gonna be playing hurt.
Diggs will be all right.
Yeah, he gonna play.
Zach Moss is done for the season, so they ain't got no running game.
They're good
I thought
with.
they had Singletary.
Yeah, they're
They
good with
do got
Singletary.
Singletary, but Zach Moss was getting a lot of the carries.
Yeah,
He gets a lot of their goal line carries. They're the same back, though.
But
Singletary like 5'7" or some shit. He's small as shit.
That's a tough one, man. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm gonna ride with the AFCs. Ride with the AFCs. I think the Bills.
So what's up?
You know, I mean, I'm going with the most explosive player in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson. I think he's gonna put it on display again.
You should. You should.
The Bills' defense is fast, so I think you might have some issues there. But
I think they're gonna make Lamar pass.
Well, I mean,
if that's the case,
so
it's a problem.
But I just think it's going to be a lot of holes right up the middle of the Bills' defense. You might not see Lamar Jackson getting the edge as much as like the quarterback dives. I think are going to be what you see Lamar and the Ravens use a lot. And J.K. Dobbins needs to get some respect. The dude's a beast. He is.
Yeah,
he a real beast.
He wasn't last game. They're bottling him up.
He ain't do shit.
I mean, he played pretty well, I thought. He had some good plays coming around the edge. I don't know what the box score.
I think that's all Lamar.
Gus had. I thought they ran the ball pretty well overall.
I know Gus ain't do nothing.
Do you think the Rams have a chance against the Packers?
Fuck,
it's the last game.
Yes, they do because of that defense.
I think they have a chance.
Everybody's the problem.
I'm taking the Packers.
Still get the win, but.
Bro,
you don't think it's even close?
I don't think so because their defense is good, but I don't think it's that good. I think they have Aaron Donald is next level, Jalen Ramsey is next level. These are great players for sure, but
it depends on if Donald is not playing or limited.
He gonna play.
Yeah, but if he's not Donald, like they're the major underdogs. They need him to be like dominant. If he's limited at all, then I think they have no chance.
Aaron Donald can have 4 sacks and they still lose. Just because I don't see that unless Aaron Rodgers goes out there and is pick happy or something like that, which it's only happened one game I think this season is where he's had like a bad performance just throwing interceptions. So I'm taking Aaron Rodgers, man. I mean, come on.
We all agree. I don't think anybody's not taking Rodgers MVP.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fun week. I can't wait to watch these games this week.
Down.
Now that we got all the bad teams out of the way.
It's going down.
Fuck that. It's not supposed to be like this. This isn't the reality. This is an alternate universe that we're in right now.
I think you got it backwards. This is reality.
This is not fucking reality.
This is real, bro. It's the beginning of the end.
48 points.
Well,
I'll never forget.
All the basketball stuff will still be there next week.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of time.
Can we just touch on the Lonzo and LaMelo real quick?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
Lonzo and LaMelo faced off.
They did.
And I think what you can say about that game and what happened.
The little bro is better than big bro.
It's early, but it's evident that LaMelo Ball is the better player.
Yeah, we got 15 minutes. We'll cut the samples. I never think that you would admit this.
I told you this, bro.
But it's evident that
I didn't expect it to happen this quickly. I did not.
No, I mean, because it's a statement moment. You can't let your little brother go out there and okay, it's one thing for him to win the game, but you have 5 points, dog.
Yeah. And
when he almost
had triple double.
You have 5 points.
And they got it the next day. They got it the next game.
Yeah,
he broke Lonzo's record for doing that, which is cool.
Well, the triple double,
youngest player
triple double. That is pretty cool.
But you just can't let your little brother go out there and outball you. You can't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No,
you can't have that happen. It's just
try to get that off.
At some point, something inside you, like you gotta foul the man or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta beat him up or something, put him in a headlock or something. You gotta let him know, like, yo, you little bro out here still.
That's embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
You gotta go out and foul out if you have to, but just put him in his place.
I mean, and then it's just the tangible things about his game that the flashiness. Like he wants the attention. Lonzo doesn't really want it to be on him, and I think that's an issue with his game. And the reason why he hasn't went to the next level. Like, yeah, you could be a solid NBA player, but you can't be a number 2 overall pick and not want the attention or not want the ball in your hands.
You play the back too much.
In certain situations, like certain situations, you just gotta be no, I'm not passing this up the court. I don't care who the open man. And LaMelo has that in him, which is gonna make him a better player overall.
I think his scoring ability is far superior. I think they both are obviously like elite passers, and his side. Well, they both are good rebounders too. I just think his scoring is just so much better than Lonzo's.
Yeah, it's that. Like I said, it's like just
Already.
even the excitement, the flashiness.
Yeah, flash.
I like Lonzo a lot before because he's like the same demeanor all the time. He never gets too high, too low.
I prefer that personality like in real life.
Right.
For a basketball star.
It's not always going to work. Sometimes we need you to be, especially as a leader of the team, we need you to spark us.
Right.
Not necessarily just steady the ship. That's more for like the head coach. I don't know. So yeah, it's early, but it's evident.
Damn, this is a tough week for you, bro.
Is the best.
The demise of Lonzo, Steelers. Jeez.
Y'all think that I just don't admit this shit. I admit
don't.
it.
No, you
I
really don't.
No, you rarely admit stuff.
When it happens.
I'm surprised
bro.
you came in here saying this shit you're saying right now.
When it happens.
Yeah, and you like fought to get that in. I respect you, bro. I respect you.
I mean, that was my take from the game. It's just that it's clear. It's evident, like I said, that LaMelo is the better player. He's everything that Lonzo is and isn't. So,
True indeed.
yeah. So yeah, it's just
When I gave you those stats in the chat and you just gave it a like, didn't even say nothing. I was like, oh, okay, he's still not ready to say it. Then you came in here and said it. I'm just surprised, bro.
The stats wasn't a huge deal to me, but you watch them match up and they're on the same floor and playing. I mean, look, I don't need to see that 10 times. This is the first time you play against your little brother. You're supposed to make it seem like he's your little fucking brother.
Yeah.
That's it.
Welcome to the league.
You went 1 for 7 in 3-pointers.
You welcomed him to the league.
He did.
Right. It's embarrassing.
Don't come home.
I'm here now.
Embarrassing. So, look, hey, shout out to LaMelo Ball.
Good shit.
Shout out LaMelo. I think I'm gonna actually be able to like him now.
Oh yeah.
I hated that kid in high school, but I mean, he's legit. He's a baller. I like watching him play.
Yeah. He brings excitement to the game. For
Boy can
sure.
hoop.
Anything else here before we close out and get to the samples?
I mean, we could have talked about Deshaun a little bit. The little off-season things going on, we can hold off.
Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff we ended up skipping because of all the beginning. Hopefully, if nobody riots the Capitol, next week we'll have more time to get into some of these other sports
There's
topics.
a lot of off-season shit we can get into.
It's already happening.
Football for sure.
Peterson getting fired, a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, well, for the YouTube watchers, I guess we would call you, we're going to wrap it up and cut these samples because YouTube doesn't like us and we don't like them. So appreciate you listening.
Stream what we sampled today.
Exactly,
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Oh, a little double
Right
dip. Double
Right
dip.
now.
Watch us and go stream it on Apple and Spotify.
Big facts. No doubt.
Good shit.
I guess I should actually close it out. So that was a fun week right there.
Yes.
Fun week. Lots of good stuff. We
Great
appreciate
pod.
you holding it
Great
down for us
pod.
and making it a good week, Carl. Shout out to the Steelers.
You know what? We won't have to go through this again, Steelers Nation. Not, for the rest of this year anyway. We'll see what happens. We won't have to go through that shit again.
Won't be in the playoffs next year is what I'm hearing.
We shall see.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Best of times for us, though.
First the Fat Boys break up.
Oh, man.
Every time I wake up, 48 points.
48 points.
Hey, we appreciate y'all listening. Episode 82. We'll be back next week.
That's all.
Return to the Mac. Peace out. Peace.